But do you know what is vanilla?
Kakenuke 青春、スパーキング。
Kakenuke. Kakenuke is vanilla. Alright. Vanilla harem, you know? But anyway, last time we played through, you, and, his auntie met each other, right? And, they played a game of poker. And, no shit, who would have guessed that Yuta, that you would lose? Wow, who would have guessed? The master is still the master of the student. And the student's student was flabbergasted that you could have lost. But yeah. Either way, that's kind of like the main thing that happened. I mean, the reason I titled the stream no Syscon, only Brocon is because of Ritsu. Because of what she did. Massaging her brother's back and then getting horny until she came and fell asleep. What? I didn't say that. Anyway, enough yapping. Let's move on. Let's don the appropriate attire. And let's find out more about youth. Shall we? Maybe not in that way. Definitely not in that way. Turned on because of massaging him. Exactly.
ロードします、兄上。
I stayed up all night in the living room until Sunday morning. I had work later that evening. As such, I had planned on taking my time during daylight hours to consider the future. But... not again!
朝の空気はやっぱ爽やかよね。
See, this is what I'm saying, Kong, right? If Hibiki was really so bothered by him groping her, she wouldn't do it again. She wouldn't let him... she wouldn't give him the opportunity to do it again. I was racing around town, riding on the back of my childhood friend's bike. How would things turn out like this? Hey, Hibiki.
Huh? 何よ?
Where are we going?
つけばわかるわよ。
Alright, let me rephrase. What are you after?
世界中がキラキラ輝くことね。みんなが幸せになるの。It's a 響きワールド。
I wasn't talking about your life goals.
だから、つけばわかるってば。
She couldn't keep up a conversation, could she? Right, morning Hibiki. Hibiki barged in unannounced around the time I finished breakfast and returned to my bedroom. I couldn't exactly say I was surprised. Routine was a scary thing. She's done this how many times? For him to get used to it?
ちょっと言う。
What?
あんた、どうして幼馴染が起こす前に起きてるのよ。
Because I could?
そういう問題じゃないのよ。
Oh, look, all you need to do is get here before anyone's awake. Maybe like 6 a.m. Maybe 5:30 is a safer time.
あんたは幼馴染の仕事を勝手に減らして。
But also, he has a little sister, so it would have been the little sister's job.
王道パターンはちゃんと踏襲しなさいよ。
And also, MC didn't really sleep because he can't really sleep on the couch. Sorry, Hibiki. I have no idea what you're talking about. She was barking up the wrong tree if she expected me to be traditional.
まあ、いっか。とにかく行くわよ。
Take care. Watch out for heat stroke. Take care. Watch out for heat stroke.
大丈夫よ。水分補給をちゃんとするから。それじゃ、またね。
Yeah.
あんたも来るのよ。
No! Why? So she can be groped again from behind. I mean, you kidnapped me without giving me a chance to send Ritsu a message.
大丈夫よ。リツも合流するから。
Huh? Does Ritsu know what we're doing?
知ってるわよ。
Yeah, this is all part of the plan.
ユウに水着見せるんだって張り切ってたわ。
What? But she's already shown off her swimsuit when they fucking volunteered to pick up trash on the beach. Swimsuit? Why to me? Because she's a brocon. Where we headed to the beach or something?
よかったわね。かわいい妹に懐かれて。
Oh, so use a brocon for being compassionate about his sister, but when she's siscon, but when she's a brocon, she's just a compassionate little sister. I could feel the prickliness in how you said that.
ねえ、ユウ、一応聞くけど、あんたたち変なことになってないでしょうね。
She wishes. Ritsu, I mean, not Hibiki. Hibiki would get jealous. Huh? What do you mean, funny?
あんたがリツに欲情してないかってことよ。
Why don't you ask Ritsu if she's attracted to him? No way in hell.
ならいいけど、ちゃんとまっとうな兄してるのね。
Of course I am. What do you take me for? She'll only be the second route, and only because you can't choose her route until you pick another character's route.
はいはい、わかったわよ。あんたたちは仲のいい普通の兄弟、そういうことよね。
That's all it is.
でもスキンシップが肩なのよね。
That's just her. What are you talking about?
間違っても私の時みたいに気軽に胸揉まないように。
I won't rub them. I seriously won't. Unless, you know. Unless. What? I couldn't help but think back to that moment, and I wish she hadn't brought it up.
あんたじゃなかったら通報してるところだからね。優しい幼馴染に超絶感謝しなさいよ。
It's also because she likes you, and that's why she didn't mind it. She got embarrassed because it was so sudden, but that's all. Stop having me ride behind you then. You forcing me to ride this bike was what caused that to happen in the first place.
いやよ。
She rejected my suggestion immediately. At least let me be in front then.
それも嫌。
She wouldn't get in at all. Give in at all. Close to sexual assault. What? I already told you why it isn't.
私が前で、ユウが後ろ。ずっとそうしてきたじゃない。
Yeah, you'll be the big spoon and she's the little spoon.
あんたは黙って私の後ろをついてくればいいの。
You're as manly as ever. Share some of that strength with Shinji.
はい、自転車はここまでよ。
No, that's why he's scared of her. We were near the station ticket gate, and over there were.
遠野くん、おはようございます。
おっせ、我が親友。
My classmates Kashima and Shinji.
おはよう遠野。
Oh!
少しは顔色良くなったみたいね。
Hang on a minute.
おはようございます。
What the
遠野
fuck?
先輩。
I still haven't forgiven her for the VTuber shit, but damn. Kado and Hiragi, members of the active, were also present. Hibiki said we were meeting up with Ritsu later as well. What's going on? Why are you all here? Are we holding a countermeasure meeting later or something?
違うわよ。せっかくの休日なのよ。
What do you mean we? I can guarantee all of you have had all of you have days off on the fucking Sunday.
そんな後ろ向きなことするより楽しいことしましょう。
You is the only one who works out of the group and also is the only one who studies? I guess. As diligently, let's just say. No. Was that really the best use of our time? They were being way too carefree. Because they're trying to enjoy their youth.
まあまあ、遠野くん。悩んでいれば、いい答えが出るというものでもありません。
You have a point, but still.
今日だけは何もかも忘れて、皆さんで泳いで楽しみましょう。
With that, Kashima presented a chic-looking tote bag. It looked like a brand name item, but without a tasteless design. So we are going for a swim in the ocean.
Hi.
It wasn't one of my favorite activities. I'll pass. I didn't bring my swimsuit anyway. No, don't worry, Ritsu Ritsu already did that.
問題ないわ。私が買ってきてあげたわよ。
Why are you the one bringing it? At least it makes sense if Ritsu does. She's his sister. Why are you bringing it? Don't do that. At least tell me in advance.
それじゃあサプライズにならないじゃない。見て見て。ピッチピチの真っ白のブリーフよ。
Excuse me? And you chose the worst pair possible? Like hell I would wear those.
しおり、ユウがわがまま言うから説得してきて。
Why would you ask Shiori? At least Nagiko can be forceful about it, and he might be into it. I mean...
小日向先輩がそう言うなら。
Hiragi took the bag from Hibiki.
遠野先輩、旅の恥はかき捨てと言いまして。
Excuse me? She held out the shopping bag with the white swimsuit inside. We're not going away on a trip. This is the beach in our hometown.
問題ありません。行くのは海水浴場ではなく、カザシーのプールです。
The Kazami Sea Paradise, or Kazashi for short. Kazami City's greatest integrated leisure facility. Kazashi is only 10 minutes away by express train. You can't call that a trip.
確かに。
Hiragi nodded firmly.
では、県外のプールでこれを履きましょう。注目の的、間違いなしです。
That's why he doesn't want to wear them. Are you that eager to see me wear this? Stop being so fixated on briefs. It's not a trip. Anyway, I'm really not in the mood for that today. I was cut off mid-sentence.
遠野。
Kado whispered into my ear from behind me.
水着なら私がちゃんとしたの買ってあげる。
See? I told you Nagiko would have been a better way, but would have been better at convincing him. This isn't the way I expected it, but, you know, there's a reason she's third.
だから、ここは付き合って。みんな、お前が心配なのよ。その気持ちを汲んでやって。
They planned all this for me. I've been pretty down in the dumps lately.
よかったわね。いい友達がいっぱいいて。
She lightly smacked me on the shoulder. I could feel heat radiating from within my chest. If you say so, Kaido. Bro, he's fucking.
ヒイラギの真似のつもり？似てる。そうでしょうか。 私はもっとやる気なさげに言いますけど。
Show some enthusiasm. She was aware of it?
やべ、もうすぐ急行来るぞ。
Well, yeah. See, here's the thing with Shiori, right? She saves her social battery for her VTubing shit, right? That's why she's so apathetic, not monotone. Introvert, no. She doesn't talk a lot in real life. IRL.
大変、切符を買わないと。鹿島さん、あんたスコカ持ってないの？
She saves it behind doors. Exactly.
スコカって何ですか？
Sakoka. Oh, well, it'd be Sukoka. Huh? Russell. She didn't know about Sukoka cards in this day and age? Well, yeah, she's rich. She doesn't need the fucking budget-friendly option. Everyone looked at Kashima like she had some kind of protected, like she was some kind of protected species.
皆さん急にどうしたんですか？鹿島さん、遠出した時は今までどうしてたのよ。そういう時は基本運転手さんの車で。
Yeah, she doesn't go by train. She fucking drives everywhere. Did she say chauffeur? Russell. Are you serious? I don't think rich girls like that existed outside of manga. Yeah, rich girls like that don't exist outside of, especially in Japan. They don't exist outside of eroge.
びっくりね。
I guess visual novels, because this isn't eroge part.
もしかして鹿島さんって家では。あら、何をしてますの？早くケーキを持っていらっしゃいですわ。
Hang on, she's not a himedere, right?
とか言ってたりして。
That's why everyone's so flabbergasted that she fucking doesn't have a skier card. a suck card.
そんなこと言わないですよ。本当かしら？
I do think that would be out of character for her. She was raised right, alright? It's not like she was raised by the shitty rich parents that don't really care about their kid and only really needed a kid to inherit their business and like spoils the shit out of them until they realize that they made a mistake by spoiling the shit out of them while they were young. So now they're an entitled brat who doesn't really know how to do business. You know, her parents actually instilled good morals into her. I couldn't exactly deny the possibility, however. It sounded like she had butlers and stuff at home.
ねえ鹿島さん、さっきのセリフちょっと試しに言ってみてくれない？さっきのって。
It's Suika. I was like, Sukiya doesn't sound right because I was thinking of the game, but they're referencing the fucking Suika cards that you can just you can put money on and then easily like go through the train station without having to buy a ticket.
私が言ったセリフよ。覚えてるわよね？覚えてますけど。あら、何をしてますの？早くケーキを持っていらっしゃい。ですわ。
The frames drop dramatically when this pops up.
なるほどね。
This is nice in its own way. Mai and Hibiki's eyes met, and we nodded to each other.
なんですか？
おい、もうホームに電車来たっぽいぞ。
How do you know that? You're not even in the station.
今はそんな話をしてる場合じゃないわね。急ぎましょう。
That's why you were so confused about the Suica card. I mean, suck card, whatever their version of it is.
風し行きは階段を上がった反対側のホームよ。
みんなダッシュだ。
But like, I do want a Himedera. I just want a Himedera in this game.
私は鹿島さんと一緒にスコカ買うから、みんなは先に行っちゃって。
Yeah, Sukoka. Yep.
ご面倒をおかけします。どうの、柊、私たちも。カイドウ先輩がそう言うなら。
Roger. Who? Kata led the way and we raced through the ticket gate and up the stairs. Oh crap. Said no, not again! Why the fuck? Don't you dare fucking fall over again, Nagiko. Senpai's skirt had flipped up and I could see her underwear. A replay of the other day. They referenced it too. As a gentleman, I'd better not look.
どうの？ちゃんと前を向かないと危ないわよ。
That's impossible right now. All I could do was give a vague reply. Just stare at her legs, you know? Never mind. When all was said and done, we rushed onto the train. The train was super crowded, given that it was a holiday. There were other people around our age chatting amongst one another, but they don't have sprites, so they aren't important. I wondered why. That was the part where I originally would have grumbled brutal ages ago. Yeah, at the start of the visual novel. Strangely enough, I didn't feel that way. Doing that today. I didn't feel that doing that today. I didn't feel like doing that today. She's wearing the same swimsuit. I don't know why she wanted the MC to see her swimsuit. Like she's wearing the same swimsuit that she was at the fucking beach. The better version of the MC. I mean, they already say youth enough times. I'm at least he isn't saying brutal as many times as he used to. And by used to, I mean the first episode of the first VOD. Wow, it looks so different. I headed to the poolside first to find Ritsu there in her swimsuit. Now, who I want to see in a swimsuit, who we haven't seen in a swimsuit yet. You see that name and you see the first name right there? I want to see Kika in a swimsuit, bro. He didn't get to wear one last time. She just showed up. We didn't even know her name then. Don't. How did she pronounce it?
Oisu.
Yeah, don't oisu. Don't hire me. You were planning on bringing me here the whole time, weren't you? Why didn't you say anything? I questioned my little sister.
逆に聞くけど、正直に言ったら兄は来てくれた？
I would have hightailed it to the library first chance I got.
妹は狙った兄のハートは逃がさない。
What? Ritsu posed her right hand in the shape of a pistol and pointed it straight at my chest. He aimed there of all places?
今日一日、私と青春しようぜ。
No, that's meant to be Hibiki's job. You're meant to be the cute little sister who cares about her brother, but not that much.
バキュン、ズキュン、ドキュン。
Whoosh. I dodged the imaginary bullets with magnificent backsteps.
こら、逃げないの。おとなしく妹にハートを撃ち抜かれなさい。
No way.
なんで？ ほらほら、私水着だよ。
What about it?
胸とかグッとくるでしょ。
Why? What do you mean? As your brother, I'm moved to tears. Not much in the way of curves. It was depressing, actually. What do you mean? What do you mean? And here I was giving him the benefit of the doubt of not being a siscon. I was mistaken, apparently.
こんなに修正してやる。
Could seeing my little sister in a swimsuit have an effect on me? It's the same swimsuit as last year at that.
何それ、もう妹には飽きたってこと？
That's not what I meant, and you know it. She was trying to make me sound like the bad guy.
こら、当の兄弟、はしゃぎすぎよ。
But oh my god. Ritzy balled up her fist, winding up for a punch, but kind of grabbed her arm from behind.
りっちゃんは元気ですね。
I mean, we've already seen all of them in swimsuits. It's not... But like, you know...
食事と運動をしっかりしてれば、きっと大きくなるわよ。
It's a different story when I like Nagiko more than I did last time I saw her in a swimsuit, you know?
私たちのような体型はこれからです。今後に期待しましょう。しおりちゃん。
Ritzy wept into Hiragi's chest.
その、離れて。
I mean, she is slightly bigger than Ritsu.
頑張ろうね。一緒に頑張ろうね。リツがそう言うなら。
Because like, if Ritsu's an A, then Shiori would be a B. I think the localizers took a bit of creative liberty in that sentence. The itty bitty titty committee was formed.
おーい、ゆう。
I looked toward the voice. I found Shinji hiding underneath the shade of a tree with no nipples. What's up, Shinji? Care to join us? Come and join us? Come and join us. Come and join us. Why did that take so long? That would be a good fit name. The Itty Bitty Titty Committee. I mean, like, I guess if the CG, if the CG for this VOD, if there is one, was fitted, I called out to him.
無理だ。
Shinji crossed his arms into an X. Huh? Why?
水着の女だらけで怖くていけない。
Yeah, well, yeah, there would be when you go to a public pool. This guy was something else. Maybe I could take this opportunity to do something about his aversion to women. Better drag him out into the sun, even if I had to do it by force. Hey, Hibiki, help me drag Shinji over. Wait, huh? Where's Hibiki?
あら、そういえば、小日向さんいませんね。私たちより先に更衣室からは出たんですが。ここにいるのわからなかったのかな。スマホは置いてきた上にこの人混みじゃ。あ、もしかして妙な輩に絡まれたりして。
I mean, like, that was my first thought too, Nagiko.
どんどん不安になってきたわ。私、迷子センターに行ってくる。
No, please wait. I stopped my overly protective senpai in her tracks. Why don't we split up and look for her? Let's meet up back here in 10 minutes, regardless of if you find her or not.
はい、わかりました。東野先輩の指示に従います。私、視力 2.0 だからすぐ見つけられるよ。
Isn't 2010 vision bad? I forgot the reason why 2020 is his thing, right? But
私が見つけてあげるからね。響き。
Hey, that goes for you too, Shinji. Look for Hibiki and be back here in 10 minutes. I called out to Shinji, who formed a big O with his arms. How? It looks like he was on board. Now then. Where did my childhood friend wander off to? I walked along the side of the pool in search for Hibiki. Is this CG time? When?
違うわよ。あんたたち、さてはにわかね
Never mind, it's just...
グーガの変身ポーズは、こうよこうお姉ちゃんかっけ
He's playing with kids.
ーねえねえ、ヤギとやって、ヤギと
My childhood friend was having an enthusiastic chat with some children about transformation special effects. What in the world is she doing? That took the wind right out of me. Hey, little lost Hibiki.
誰が迷子よって言うじゃない。ちょうどよかったわ。
No.
グーガの変身ポーズってこうよね。
Like I know. I put back at Hibiki, who had used her long, slender limbs to the fullest, striking a signature pose.
姉ちゃん、その人誰
Why did you do... Hang on a minute. I mean, like, I know that it's the same sprite as last time, but, like, why would she do up her hair? Logically speaking, why would she do up her hair when she's fucking swimming? When it was down already? Right, like, it would make sense if it was already styled in the same way, but like, the logic doesn't work anymore. The explanation doesn't work.
ねえねえ、ヤギとやって、ヤギと
These kids were totally unfazed. Your Onid shed likes those who hold strong convictions.
この人はね、お姉ちゃんの幼馴染よ。幼馴染
It means we've been together since we were about your age. She crouched down to their eye level as she spoke. They looked between us with amazement. Talk about cute. Had Hibiki and I known each other for that long?
ユウ、この子たち迷子なんだって。
I see. The same as you then.
私は面倒を見てたの。迷子はこの子たちだけよ。
Well, that's fine then.
じゃあって言うな。
Would it be best for you, if you took them to the Lost Child Center? It would obviously be out of the question to look for some stranger in this crowd.
すぐ来てくれるかしら。
It would be pointless to stick around here for no reason.
心配だな。
Hibiki looked uneasy as she glanced at the children. She wore an expression I had only seen her make once. The face of the girl that had dragged me out of the darkness. I looked up at the sky. I guess it was ultimately my fate to not hold a candle to you. Hibiki, take these kids to the Lost Child Center. I didn't sneeze. I'll join you, and we'll stay with them until their parents show up. A smile rapidly spread across Hibiki's face.
さすが私の幼馴染ね。
Ow! She slapped me as hard as she could on my bare back.
兄ちゃん弱え。
No, she's just violent.
誰が乱暴なのよ。グーガハラパンチ。
What kind of superhero punches you? What kind of superhero punches you in the gut? I narrowly dodged Hibiki's short punch. Her brutal fist hurtled through the air.
何を言う。女の子に好き放題言っちゃって。いい？そこの二人も覚えておきなさい。男の子はね、好きな女の子にはわざと意地悪をするものなのよ。
What? No?
なんだ兄ちゃん、お姉ちゃん好きなのかよ。
No. Hibiki's just a childhood friend. One I can't get rid of.
素直になればいいのに。
でしょ？
Hey, Hibiki, don't brainwash innocent children. That's the job of the parents. I brought the children to the Lost Child Center with Hibiki. It wasn't until half an hour later that the children started to get upset and were on the verge of tears. A young man and woman turned up and thanked us. We said goodbye to the children, who were all smiles, and left the Lost Child Center.
よかったわね。すぐ両親見つかって。
Hibiki and I stuck just our legs into the pool to cool off. Yeah, I thought they were meant to meet up in 10 minutes.
何よ、気のない返事ね。嬉しい時は笑いなさいよ。
Hibiki, did you not notice?
Huh?
Those parents earlier probably weren't their real parents.
どういうこと？
When they came to pick them up, they reacted just like I would have back in the day. The boy went to their mother and the girl went to the father. They hadn't gone to both of their attention. They hadn't gone to both of their attention. To both for their attention. If I had to bet, they had each immediately gone to their real parent for attention. That odd? Not really. It's like stepmom, stepdad. You know. I think those parents were remarried with children from previous marriages. It was what had happened with Ritsu and me. I could tell because we were alike.
また嫌なことを思い出しちゃったの？
Hibiki's expression grew murky. I shook my head. If anything, it's a good thing Ritsu and I became family. If it weren't for Ritsu and my stepfather, I'm sure I would have been much more out of control otherwise. I would have been harassed by those cold-hearted relatives of mine. I was very lucky to have met Ritsu and my stepfather when I did.
Oi! You!
Ritsu not blood-related safe? Well, of course she isn't blood-related. But, like, it's never a plot point. The fact that the sister and brother aren't blood-related. Right? Take, like, Riddle Joker, for example. It's never like, oh... It's never a plot point that they aren't actually siblings. I mean, like, it is once the other people find out that they're dating, but, like... Whoa, what is it? She suddenly shouted in my ear.
せっかくの水着美少女幼馴染が隣にいるっていうのに。なんでそんなに暗い顔してうつむいてんのよ。
Because he's already seen you in a swimsuit. Don't call yourself gorgeous.
何よ、ユウは私が可愛くないっていうの？
I do think you're cute. I admitted that. She was so cute that I sometimes wondered if it was okay for someone like me to be a childhood friend.
そうなんだ。
Don't get embarrassed by your own question. Who's going to make me embarrassed too?
ああ、もう調子狂うわね。
Yeah, but gorgeous and cute are different things, alright? You're the one who brought it up.
こうなったら勝負よ。
I had no idea what she was talking about. But either way, she had always been competitive. It would probably be just be an extension of some game.
そこの競技用プールで早く泳げた方の勝ちよ。
Sure, I guess. I wasn't in the mood to lose to a girl.
私が勝ったら
I'm not joining the active. I want her up front.
じゃあ私の水着画像をユウのスマホの待ち受けにして。わざと負けるなんてのはなしよ。
Wait, would that make me look shady? No? What do you mean? It's not like you're gonna be taking a scandalous photo of her in this fucking swimsuit. It's not like you're gonna be creeping behind her and taking a photo of her in a swimsuit. She's gonna be staring at the camera that you will be taking a picture of her with, and then setting it as your fucking phone background. Obviously, it won't look like anything. It won't look like anything weird. I wouldn't be able to show my phone screen to anyone. Oh, that part is true. That was asking too much of me.
ユウが勝ったらあの白い水着をプレゼントするわ。
Why would you? That's a bad present. That's a bad prize. How's that supposed to be an incentive? It would be odd. I mean, yeah, because they're not dating. It would be, especially if he had to keep the phone back. Especially if he had to keep that phone background while he was dating someone else. But like, you know, this match had practically nothing positive in it for me.
よーいスタート。
Hey, Hibiki jumped into the pool with what was more or less a false start. He doesn't pull any punches when a match is on the line. He even cheats. Wow. Still, this much of a handicap would be a piece of cake. I jumped into the pool after her. I spotted Hibiki several meters ahead. She was pretty far off. In comparison, I wasn't pumping out as much speed as I'd expected. Maybe I wasn't in as good of physical shape as I thought. Crap! I had to do something, or else I would lose. MC, you're not fit. Hang on, MC is fit, bro. He's a fucking waiter. He has to be fit. Oh! I put as much strength as I could muster into my flutter kicks. Flutter kick. No! He fucking cramped! Just then, both of my legs cramped up hard. No!
私の勝ち一番。
Waiter can be not fit. I don't think you understand. Those plates be heavy, alright? And especially if he got multiple on a tray. Bro, how could his legs be the ones that gave out? He is up all day, walking around and shit, carrying around... Not... Okay, I might be exaggerating a bit on how heavy the plates are. But, like, he's walking around all day, right? Carrying around shit, right? Just, like, how could he cramp fucking swimming?
さあユウ、約束通りあんたのスマホの待ち受けは
And both legs, right? It's not one, it wasn't just one, it was both of them. Swimming way different to walking. I mean, yeah, I know, I swim too.
あれいない。
I'm a lot better at swimming than running, let's just say.
小日向先輩。
He's drowning, that's why.
響き、やっと見つけた。心配したんですよ。よかったです。あとはお兄ちゃんだね。
あいつ10分経っても戻ってこねえし。
He's dead. He's fucking drowning, bro. You'll never see him again.
ミイラになりやがって。
言うなら、さっきまで私と一緒に泳いでたはずなんだけど。いないじゃない。皆さん。今、プールの真ん中で溺れかけている方が、遠野先輩に限りなく似ているのですが。似てるんじゃなくてお兄ちゃんだよ。
What? Yeah, what's that? There's a floating corpse in the water that looks like that looks like you.
今助けるぞ
No, I don't want you to save him.
久しぶりのプール、楽しかったわね。
Yeah, I nearly drowned and all. Nothing better. On the way home, my legs were were still sore, which meant I sat behind Hibiki again on her bike.
でしょ？やっぱみんなで楽しく遊ばないとね。青春を謳歌しなきゃ。
Yeah, forget the fact that he nearly died, but sure. My sock hadn't gotten through to her whatsoever. I guess this was Hibiki's style. Youth, huh?
ユウ、何か言った？
Why is everyone so fixated on youth? That's what I'm saying. How many times that I heard that word this month from Hibiki, from my sister and our friends, and even from my aunt.
もったいないじゃない。社会に出たらもうこんな風にはできないわよ。だから今を目いっぱい楽しく生きなきゃ。
Well, yeah. I mean, I understand that with Japanese work culture, but like, bro, Riri is rich as fuck. I think she doesn't need to. I think she would be able to enjoy her youth even throughout adulthood. Youth, quote unquote.
違う？
That's what you think. Right now, I consider youth a luxury. Something that could be less relevant to me. What I'd said back there hadn't been a lie. Those were my true, unadulterated feelings. But
私、遠野くんみたいな人になりたいんです。
is this how he hears people in his flashbacks in his brain?
だから、柄にもなく部なんて立ち上げたんですよ。
They just sound like they're speaking through a walkie-talkie. But
人は今しか、この瞬間にしか生きられないのよ。だからあんたは今を全力で青春すればいいの。
but
ユウ、お前も青春を楽しんでるな
but you're a guy. I don't want to listen to you.
ユウ、どうしたのよ。急に黙りこくっちゃって。
Oh, it's nothing.
変なの？
I'm a killjoy anyway.
そんなこと言ってないでしょ？
I'm sure you feel that way, even if you won't say it out loud.
どうしてそんなに卑屈なのよ。自分からひねくれようとしてるじゃないの。
Yeah, maybe. I knew how it could be, but it wasn't long before I was surrounded by so many people.
ま、そういう中二っぽい青春もあるけど。
Huh?
どうせなら明るく楽しく。男の子と女の子で一緒に青春しましょう。
You really are pushy. I should probably be grateful. It meant I wasn't alone after all.
ああ、明日からまた学園か。
Feeling depressed. If nothing changed, the active would be dissolved this week. Not just the active, but the negative too.
うんうん、楽しみよ。明日何があるかワクワクするわ。
I figured you'd say that. You would say that. The bike we rode slowly rolled its way through the city. Sea breeze caressed our cheeks. I could hear the cry of the cicadas. I hope not. As well as the beautiful laughter of my childhood friend. What was it? What was all this about? we're total youth enthusiasts. They are. You not so much. I lived my life in pursuit of work and studies because I couldn't focus on anything other than work and studies. I somehow managed to survive to reach this moment. I convinced myself that anything in my life that sparkled was dull to avoid staring. And yet here I was, fooling around with my friends, because we were forced to. I guess that's not so bad either. I didn't know when I had become so precious to me. The chorus of cicadas blended with the sound of the bike Hibiki pedaled. Summer was in full bloom, and the cicadas annoying as ever. Soon enough, the first term would be over, and my youth would be. Yeah, I guess in hindsight he should have spent more time with them. But like, who would have been able to predict that the scholarship program would fucking disappear?
学園長、よろしいでしょうか。どうしたの？
Fuck you!
それが、学園改革の件で少々ややこしいことに。先日からネット上にこのような書き込みが。
Nagomi took the tablet from the secretary, then squinted and scrolled through the text.
これ、生徒が書き込んでいるのかしら。
おそらくですが、半々といったところでしょう。在学中の生徒と風見学園への入学を視野に入れている者が情報共有しているようです。
なるほどね。
Kazumi Academy sounds like a total blast. Maybe I should go here next year. Only the impressions of the school of the academy were positive, but she could see her hilariously groundless posts among the bunch.
問題は39番目から6月27日以降の記事です。
これは間違いなく生徒の書き込みね。
They can't be serious about shutting down our clubs out of nowhere. Is the new headmaster a moron? They're supposed to have made on the same day the Reformation policy was shared with the students. And there had been an influx of comments since...
何も知らない子供のざれ言ね。取るに足らないわ。
The whole fucking point of this... The whole reason they changed headmaster is so that they could increase their reputation and have more potential students the next years. That's the whole reason why they're pulling back on their fucking budget, because they don't have enough students. So why do you think people are so mad about the clubs shutting down? They aren't talking so much about the scholarship program because they're all fucking rich shits. But the scholarship program also prevents people from being able to enroll into the academy.
はい。生徒だけのものであればですが。
The main problem here is that the budget goes down with more clubs running, but the clubs running are an incentive for students to join. Right? You do realize that the best way to increase the budget is to increase the tuition, not abolish a scholarship program that will prevent actual smart people who have gotten into the school through academic merit instead of financial, successful clubs. See, I get that, right? But how could you not tell me negative, which is a boon to the fucking school, right? It is exclusively meant for volunteering outside of the academy, right? In their school uniforms. They are marketing the academy every time they volunteer for shit, right? But that club is shutting down. So you're telling me those clubs aren't successful enough, right? I can guarantee there are more clubs than negative. that are basically the same thing, but they're not successful enough because they haven't won any fucking medals and trophies and shit. Right?
どういうこと？
こちらをご覧ください。ボランティア部の廃部撤回を求める書き込みです。
When she followed the link, it loaded up a post related to the Kazumi Nursery School.
放課後や休日に外部で活動した際の取材記事のようです。
Nagomi's eyebrows twitched as she read through the article.
外部からこのような声が上がりますと、少々厄介です。
The article went into detail in their activities at the nursery school. It even included quotes from the children themselves. Here's the problem, right? There is a big fucking problem when the voices of the students in your academy are labeled as ignorant. They have labeled every discerning what's the word? Not discerning. That's like every dissenting voice as ignorant, even if any of them brought up a valid criticism. What's more, Kazami Academy uniforms were prominently displayed in the pictures included in the article.
特に今回の場合、場所が保育園です。地域とのつながりも考慮しますと、小さな記事とはいえ、黙殺はできません。
Nagomi couldn't disregard the comments made by the nursery school staff either.
ボランティア部を廃部にしないでほしい。ね。やってくれるわね。あの子たち。
学園長？
何でもありません。例の件を早急に進めて。
ですが。
構いません。この程度どのようにでも対処できます。部の縮小と学園の方針転換はすでに決定事項。時期はこちらの判断で。
Look, all I'm saying is, this will not change. This will not help the budget. All right, they are cutting down on spending, but that will also lower their reputation. All right, so the amount of money they will get from the new year of students is going to be less than last year. Probably. It helped the budget in the short term. That's the problem, though. They're only thinking of short-term solutions. And down the line, it's going to affect them even more so.
そういう方策でしたね。
かしこまりました。では、そのように。
あくまで私に立ち向かうつもりなのね。
Yeah, only the main characters are defying you. Fuck off!
面白くなってきたわ。
I couldn't
遠野先輩、ひどいっすよ。
I couldn't think of a worse fucking headmaster. Maybe if they turned the fucking school into a dictatorship, then I would I'd be like, oh, I guess there was worse, but do you really care about the students? Is essentially it's the main point. It's the main problem. It was our first break time at the start of the week. The first thing out of Hijiri's mouth was a string of angry complaints when we happened to run into each other. What's got you so upset? The only students they care about are the ones that give them money and the ones that join already successfully made clubs. That's the problem, right? It is not the successful clubs, quote unquote, are clubs that have been established for so long that obviously they would have achievements. Volunteer Collective was started a year ago, right? Or even less so, like a term ago, right? Obviously they weren't gonna have as many achievements. What's got you so upset?
昨日皆さんでかざし行ったって聞いたっす。
Yeah, I was hoping you'd be there.
先輩、散々
Plus, there are not enough people. Yeah, because it's a startup, right?
青春、俺には関係ねえ。
It's like saying, oh, Snapchat didn't make enough money in the first week that it came out. Right, let's shut it all down, you know? I mean, like, startups now in Silicon Valley are shit, right? But like before, you know, with like Snapchat or like Twitter or like stuff like that, you know? When they actually had an idea that people, you know, when it was something that people wanted. When there was a market for that kind of stuff. Now it's like, yeah, we made a juicer that juices from these specifically made packets, from these specifically made packets that you can't use with any other machine, but you can just buy the juice packets and then fucking use your hands to squeeze out the juice. I am being specific with what I was referring to with the juicero, but you know.
って言っておきながら、ちゃっかり青春ボーイになってるっす。
I didn't go because I wanted to.
でもかざし行ったことには変わりないじゃないっすか。
I just fell for one of their schemes.
自分も行きたかったっす。
That's what you get for not sharing your contact info with anyone. I didn't even know what class she was in yet. For what I heard, they had every intention of inviting you. If you want to hang out with them, then you need to share your LIN info.
あー、やっぱそこっすか。
Hijiri scratched her cheek with the tip of her finger.
考えとくっす。
Yeah, okay. You're all girls. What are you so on guard for? They got along so well in the club room. I didn't understand what point there was in refusing to swap contact info.
青春カウントとの兼ね合いがあるんで。
What is going on with her? That again? Biggest mystery of Hijiri's was the youth counter. Here's a cryptic value that had been gradually decreasing ever since I met her.
一気に使うとあっという間にゼロになっちゃうんす。だから大事に使ってるんすよ。
Just out of curiosity, what happens when the counter reaches zero? She dies.
自分死ぬっす。
I fucking knew it. For real? That was that sure was a sudden terminal diagnosis. That sure was a sudden terminal diagnosis.
だったらかっこいいんすけどね。
Can't believe I bothered playing along. Way to embarrass me.
真実は超かっこ悪いんで秘密っす。
Hijiri's smile was unusually strained.
当の先輩が知ったらきっと自分を嫌いになるっす。
Every time he says for real, I just think of Ryuji from Persona 5.
だから教えないっすよ。
I can't even imagine what the reality is. Very clear to me that you have some extreme illusions of grandeur. I took 3 steps back. I put distance between myself and the dangerous person.
先輩ひでえっすよ。
Keep away, dangerous one.
自分のどこが危ないんすか。
The fact that you're so secretive, what do you mean?
ちょっと先輩の背後から忍び寄って首と関節極めて匂い嗅いだだけっす。
Is it that dangerous enough? When I really thought about it, this woman really wasn't sane. I took another 3 steps back.
こうなったら意地でも当の先輩の匂いを嗅ぐっす。
Hijiri slowly closed the distance between us. Do you hear how crazy that sounds?
スメル、先輩スメル、思春期男子の息のいいスメル。
Hijiri threw open her arms and gradually closed the distance between us. You're terrified. That says chills down my spine. Chills up my spine. Was she a zombie or something? The warning bell went off as if to stick a wedge between us. Time was up. That's enough for today.
そうっすね。
Hijiri and I reverted to our usual selves.
先輩、いつも自分と遊んでくれて感謝っす。あざっす。
Yeah, he's not going to be hanging out with you for long, though. She bowed deeply to me. Why did she seem so, like this? Why did she seem like the sportsmanly type to me? It's not really anything you need to thank me for. I'm just talking to you like anyone else.
自分にとってはそれが貴重っすから。
I don't know what's so precious about it, but you should hurry and get back to class. I turned away from her and walked off. I headed for the school building, but I didn't hear Hijiri's footsteps. Bro, she's probably in like fucking middle school or something. She's in like a different Kazumi part of a Kazumi fucking thing, right? They already have a like elementary school, I guess. Yeah, so they'd probably have a middle school too. I stopped and turned around. She remained planted in place. Hijiri was smiling and waving to me.
遠野先輩、
What is it?
遠野先輩の守りたいものってなんすか？奨学金？アクティブ？それとも
Yes, maybe.
先輩もそろそろ腹をくくるときっすよ。
I don't know what the third thing was.
先輩はもう走り出してるんすね。先輩の青春カウント動き出してるっす。
I hadn't come down from with any delusions of grandeur. I shouted in return, spinning the round on my heel. Yeah, who the fuck are you? I didn't hesitate, and kept moving forward. Like, there's a reason we never see her in the main building outside of after school. Is that even your real name?
響、行儀悪いわよ。もっと落ち着いて食べなさい。
It was lunchtime. Everyone who hung out at Kazushi yesterday gathered together to eat.
おい、お前んとこの文芸部どうなった？
やべえわ。賞とか取ったこともないし。
ゆっこ、手芸部は廃部なの？
うん。全員演劇部の裏方になるの。うちの満研は美術部と合併。漫画描かしてくれるかな？
Why would they? What? Everyone was talking about the impending academy reformation. All of the small-scale clubs without achievements would disappear. So what about the small-scale club volunteer collective with an achievement? Not a medal. You know? Made sense why most of the student body looked to be down in the dumps. So the clubs have to merge. Some clubs will merge. Some clubs won't merge. Volunteer, collective, and active probably won't merge with a bigger club. they might might merge into one another's club. I don't know. They could no longer do the things they wanted to do.
新しい方針ですと、かなりの部が廃部になるみたいですね。
Okay. Here is the biggest problem that disbanding all of the clubs will cause. Alright? Student morale is the biggest thing that you need for a fucking school. Because if you don't have that, if the students aren't excited to go to school, they won't want to study. They won't want to get good grades. They will fucking just skirt by through school doing the minimum. The minimum they would. The bare minimum, right? That will be the biggest hit to the fucking school's reputation. If the students aren't able to keep up with their grades, right? Especially because the scholarship program, which is a program exclusively for students who have high grades and aren't really able to afford going to school, is a you get what I mean, right? Scholarship program means that the highest scoring students that can't pay to go to school won't be able to go to the academy. The students that can pay to go to the academy, who have joined smaller clubs or have started their own clubs, will have lower morale, so they'll want to do less. Which means that the average grade of every student will ultimately go down, which means that the city will be less inclined to give them money. So I'm saying that this is the biggest. This is why disbanding the clubs and abolishing the scholarship program will only work short term. Because long term, it will affect them heavily in the worst way possible.
いろいろな部があった方が自由で面白いのによ。
そういう校風に惹かれて入学した生徒はかわいそうね。
I don't know why no one's bringing that part up. It's pretty obvious that if the students want to go to school, that means they'll also want to get good grades, quote unquote. It's a case by case basis, right? But overall, it will improve the grades of the average, right? The average grade will increase. Well, if students are more Are you sure about that? Yes! If students like going to school, though... I mean... Look. Mostly down to the teachers, right? If they don't have good teachers, they won't have... It's a lot harder for a student to want to study. Going to school and studying is different, yes, but going to school is the first step. And if students don't want to go to school, they won't want to study either. It's the problem with bad teachers too, right? I'm equating it to like, okay, the teachers are average, right? I haven't heard anyone complain about bad teachers, right? So then it comes down to the clubs, right? The more incentivized a student is in wanting to go to school, you know, even if they aren't like fucking you over here who studies his ass off every fucking day, they'll want to do better.
風見学園の個性がなくなっちゃうよ。私、絶対に今のままの方がいいと思う。
It may bring more average people. As average as someone who could pay off the tuition? Because here's the thing. I can guarantee that the tuition fee for Kazumi Academy is not small. That's why you can't afford to pay off Ritsu's and his own tuition. Right? That's why they're both in the scholarship program. That will be abolished. So both of them won't be able to go to Kazumi Academy. And once again, the average grade of the students will go down. Like, objectively speaking. You think you could pay off any school? Yes? That's why he thought about going to a different school. Because he would have been able to pay it off. I mean, unless you say, I mean, yeah, sure, I guess you could say that it's because the other school has a scholarship program, but the point still stands. He wouldn't be able to pay off this school. Right? So, like I said, the average grade of the students will go down. Ritsu stopped eating and acted with indignation.
なら、りっちゃんが進学園長を説得しに行ってみるとか。
私がなごみおばさんを？
I'm just saying that disbanding the clubs is an overall negative to the school's reputation. Alright? Just because it's from the students in the school is beside the point.
そういえば、りっちゃんは新しい学園長のメインなんですね。
可愛いメイの頼みなら心変わりもありえるんじゃないかしら。柊もそう思わない？
カイドウ先輩がそう言うなら。無理絶対無理！
わっ、びっくりした。
私がお願いしたって効果なんてありません。なごみおばさんは仕事には超クールなんだもん。
This is why you needs to beat her in a poker game, alright? That's why she's always been, that's how she's always been, even outside of work. She's emotionless. She climbed the corporate ladder by catching her colleagues and superiors in traps to knock them out of her way. She didn't pull any punches, if there was something in it for her. That was the kind of person she was.
そんなに怖い人なんですか？
マジかよ。そんな人がこれから学園長やるのかよ。
Kashima and Shinji were rather irked. Regardless, I need to win against that woman. You got a week to do it, so good luck. To save the place I belong, I have to fight her. With my hands. Oh, wait a minute. With my cards. I mean... Yeah, that works. Besides, it's also a fight to protect where all of you are too.
遠野くん？
That why they want her as the headmaster? Yeah. And that was the biggest mistake they've ever made. Whoever they is. I've been thinking. Not just yesterday, the day before that, or even further back. That the time I spent with all of you wasn't half bad. I didn't want to lose the silly everyday life I had with everyone here. That was how I had started to think.
何よ、素直に言いなさいよ。私と遊べて楽しかったんでしょ？
Yeah, but I've got to be honest. When I say I was at an absolute loss when you first started dragging me around everywhere. You hadn't changed since the old days. You're overbearing and selfish. That's why overwhelming, and that was overwhelmingly fun for some reason.
So...
Having Kashima take me to, with her and volunteering for myself was an all-new experience. I'd always associated money with work. but it helped me realize there was more to it than that. Volunteering is not work just because it's volunteering. Kashima, you expanded my world. Fuck.
そうですか。
For all of that Spanish, I don't want it. Perhaps I came to the realization too late, especially when I was on the verge of losing everything. But part of me was convinced that there was still time. Our youth wasn't over yet.
どうしたのよ、突然そんなこと言い出して。
Oh, you know, he's gonna get kicked out of school next week, so, you know, he may as well say his prayers to everyone before he leaves. My guess is all of you had an influence on me. You gave a guy like me a chance to enjoy his adolescence.
お兄ちゃんがついに青春に前向きに。
Ritsu, you aren't a part of any club either. What are you talking about? A little belated, but yeah. Unless she's part of a first year club. Look, Shiori's in active. Why can't Ritsu be a negative?
遅くなんてないわ。私もユウもまだまだこれからじゃない。
Unlike Kika, they're in the same building.
それに遅れた分は今から取り戻せばいいだけの話よ。
You really are positive. Her straightforward nature had changed me. I wasn't interested in living out my youth, but she had drawn me in.
当たり前よ。下なんて向いてる時間がもったいないわ。時間は有限なの。私たちは迷わず前に進むべきなのよ。
たまには周りも見ないと転ぶわよ。
その時はその時よ。何が起こしてくれるでしょ。
もう仕方のない子ね、響は。
遠野くん、元気になって本当に良かったです。
I'm sorry for worrying all of you, especially after taking on a leadership role.
謝らないでください。これは私たち全員の問題なんですから。そうね。アクティブとネガティブ、みんなで立ち向かうべきなのよ。そういうわけで、これから対策会議始めましょう。
We're in the middle of eating lunch.
話しながら食べればいいでしょ。
I was hoping for a nice chill lunch.
そうも言ってられないでしょ。
You're also talking already, so
もうすぐ夏休みだもんね。1学期の間になごみおばさんに話だけでも聞いてもらわなきゃ。
good luck with that.
それだけじゃダメよ。え？改革案を見直すって約束させなきゃ。それくらいのつもりでいきましょう。ね、ユウ？
Yeah.
そうですよね。マジックで師匠に勝つような方ですから。
No amount of preparation will be enough, so I hope I can count on all of you for wisdom and guidance.
では、もう一度状況を整理するところから始めましょう。風見学園は弱小部の廃部と小学生制度の撤廃を提示しました。双方に通じる理由として予算減少を挙げています。私たち生徒が学園の予算についての案を出すのは少々非現実的かと思います。であれば、つくべきポイントは学生の権利でしょうか。部活動を行うこと、小学生として学園に利益をもたらすこと。このあたりのメリットを私たち側の視線で訴えかけるのが良いのではないでしょうか。それと、ネットを使うのも手だと思います。ネットの拡散力は今や口コミよりも大きく、速度も比べ物にならないほど速いです。
I mean, if they want to submit an alternate budget proposal, it's very easy for them to submit one for clubs. You can just be like, clubs don't really cost you that much money, and the amount of money that they do cost you, you can just take it out of their own budget, you know? Right? The only budget that they're taking is that they are taking up a room, an already empty room in the academy, right? There was already power going to it anyway, but like there's not really a reason for them to to disband small clubs, especially active and negative. I haven't seen a single thing from either of their clubs that could constitute them taking budget out of the school. I know what I mean. You know what I mean.
風見学園の現状を広く伝え、世論に訴えかけてみてはどうでしょうか。なんでしょう、この空気は。
だってねえ。
はい。私、的外れなことを言ったのでしょうか。
Oh, your argument was as sound as was so sound it gave me chills. And hey, you talked a ton.
しかもすっごい的確。さすがしおりちゃん、頭いいね。
See, her becoming a VTuber made her more extroverted. Yeah.
そうでしょうか。さすがアクティブで世界を狙える器ね。はあ、小日向先輩がそう言うなら。
What world is that?
ですが、柊さんの案も少し問題がありますね。はい、噂の伝達が早いとはいえ、少々時間がかかります。
So it'll be difficult to settle this quickly then.
そういうことです。
It's not a bad idea to get lots of people on our side, though. Especially if we can gather enough support from those inside the academy, from those inside and outside the academy. We may be able to sway negotiations into a more positive direction. So the first thing we have to do is... I don't have a good feeling about this. I don't have a good feeling about this. I have a very bad feeling about this. An urgent announcement. The classroom fell silent and turned their eyes to the speaker.
緊急放送って何かしら。わかりません。
I had a bad feeling about this. That's what I'm saying. Knowing that woman, I doubt she had anything good to say.
生徒の皆さん、お昼休みの貴重な時間にごめんなさい。
Save it for after then.
遠野、静かに。
皆さんにもすでにお伝えしてある風見学園の改革についてです。急なことで大変申し訳ないのですが、クラブ活動の廃部手続きは本日施行します。
Of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? What? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Club disbandment procedures would commence today.
つまり本日の時点で条件を満たしていない部は廃部です。夏休み中に練習する部もありますし、早い方がいいと判断しました。廃部対象となっている部の部室は本日中に明け渡してください。
Yeah, the strict criteria is any club that has been established for a long time and already has a bunch of achievements, so that regardless of the fact that the students in the club currently have not achieved anything, they will still... Say like the basketball club, right? The basketball club would have been established for a while. That club is completely fine because the previous students who were in the club got achievements for it, right? But what if the current students haven't gotten a single achievement? But the club would still be fine because it had achievements. Doesn't have any anymore at the moment. it wouldn't close. Because it is so strict and so vague at the same time, right? It is a club with achievements. If it is a club without achievements, you will be shut down. Fuck, it's staticky. Right? What I'm saying is that they were not specific with how, oh, the current students in the club would have needed to provide achievement, would have needed to achieve something in that club's. It's fixed a bit.
そんな急すぎです。あと1週間はあるって思ってたのに。
No, you would, but something happened in some, you know, with Nagomi and the secretary's discussion, something happened, and now she's moved the plan forward. Hibiki's and customers' faces swiftly turned pale. And not just theirs. All of our friends. Majority of the students were astonished and filled with despair. That woman. They're trying to minimize the number of clubs. See, like, there is no reason for her to disband the clubs now. There's no cuss-cutting here. Right? The excuse for why they're disbanding the clubs in the first place is to cut costs. The week that they have left won't affect the budget at all. That woman. What was she thinking? What was in it for her to drive her own students into a corner? She was screwing with us. Don't lead us by the nose for your own convenience. You think you can do whatever you want because you're older than us? That it's okay to force us into submission? I knew it. You're the same as that woman and all of her relatives.
急な話に戸惑いもあるでしょう。不満のある生徒は学園長室にいらっしゃい。私とお話をしましょう。待っていますよ。
She's fucking provoking everyone. What do you... There was a noise picked up by the mic following the end of the announcement. That's always how it is. I went quiet and glared at the speaker.
こんなに急じゃ実績作ったり賞取ったりできっこないじゃん。
新しい学園長。最初から小さなところは切り捨てる気だったんじゃ。
ひどい。そんなのひどいよ。あんた、学園長に抗議してきなさいよ。
What do you mean you? Why don't you both?
んなことできるかよ。内申点どうなるか分かってんのか。
It won't do anything? It wouldn't do anything. The classroom was instantly consumed with negativity. The whole academy was likely in the same boat.
こんなのいくらなんでも応募よ。
I'm glad that she used the word tyrannical, because there really isn't any other way to put it.
ナギ。
私が学園長と話を。
Please wait, Kaido. I stood up and held Senpai back.
遠野、止めないで。
I will go.
遠野くん。
It's like what they do with job to cut costs. If the main goal was to cut costs by shutting... Look, here's the problem with doing it now. If they did it now, that means they could have done it before. So why didn't they do it the same day that they announced that they would be disbanding smaller clubs? if their main goal was to cut costs, if they did it in the second term, if they did it after the week, it would make sense, right? I could excuse it for being like, oh, they couldn't do it now because it's something they can only implement once they swear in the next headmaster. That's not really a thing. It's not like, you know, when she became when did she become headmaster? That's what I'm saying. I could have excused it for being like, oh, she became headmaster second term. That's why they shut down that's why they disbanded the clubs in the second term. But she's doing it now, which means she could have done it before. That's the problem. This is not there is no motive behind why she's doing it now without it seeming malicious. Alright? It's the same thing with fucking Kagetora arresting Shime. Right? I'm the leader, right? Besides, you're a third year. You need to keep your academic standing in mind. Here is the problem. This sentence right here is the biggest problem. She is like, oh, if you have any complaints, come see me. The amount of students, every fucking student would want to see her. The problem is that, oh, if you see her, it might affect your academic standing. Like I said, you couldn't have given written a worse headmaster. Outside of a headmaster that kills their own students, there couldn't be a worse one. If I had to guess, that broadcast was a message to me from my aunt. She wanted wanted me to come see her. Fine, bring it on. I'll take you up on your challenge. Hibiki and Ritsu, who knew firsthand what kind of relationship I had with my aunt, eyed me nervously. Don't worry. I'm just an adorable nephew going to visit his aunt. I cracked a deliberate joke.
Yeah, 俺も一緒に行くぞ.
No, there's no reason for you to be going with him. Shinji?
心配すんな。話の邪魔はしない。
She wants people to go see her? This is the problem, right? If she made that announcement specifically so that you could go see her, why didn't she just, I don't know, make the announcement for you to see her? So there could be two. There are two possible scenarios for this. One, she actually wants students to come see her, or two, she used that announcement to get you to come to her. And if it's the second one, she's even worse than I thought.
やばそうだと思ったら止めに入るけどな。お前のこの間みたいな顔はもう見たくないんだよ。
His tone was subdued yet clear. I could sense strong determination. It was still a worrywart. I appreciated it, but I couldn't help but tease him out of my own embarrassment. Ritsu, it makes sense for Ritsu to come, because she doesn't really... Well, if they can't convince her, she's not coming to the school she's not going to school the next term.
私もです。
Riri, I guess she's the student council president. Hey, you guys. I mean, there's a reason he calls her president, but it's never really brought up that she's anything special when it comes to the students. Hey, you guys. You defy the headmaster. It may reflect poorly on you. And that's the problem. It shouldn't. If she really cared about the students protesting, it shouldn't. There's a reason protesting isn't illegal. Alright?
それを言うなら、小学生のお前の方が問題だろ。
No, it isn't. Because it doesn't matter if he's it is because he is a scholarship student that he is more likely to see her. Because regardless of the fact, if she isn't convinced, he can't go to school the next term. If she is convinced, then it wouldn't affect his record. So, you know, there is no reason for him not to see her.
そんなことより、妹は兄を優先します。
And it's the same thing with Ritsu.
私は、遠野くんの一番弟子ですから。
It really kind of makes sense. She's, you know, higher standing in her class, I guess, and also because she's the president of a club that will be disbanded. Right now, it's been disbanded. You're all idiots. He wants people to argue their point with the threat of them losing academic merit. Well, no, with the threat of it affecting their academic record. That's the problem. If that argument wasn't brought up, I'd be like, sure, go ahead. Everyone fucking go to see her. Did she say that? No, but the fact that people are the fact that the students are thinking it means that it's a possibility. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter, regardless of the fact that it would or would not. It's because people are thinking it that there will be less people arguing their point to the headmaster. People are being idiots. Okay. But I can guarantee you she would know that. So why would she not clarify that that arguing their point would not affect their academic record, quote unquote, right? She's a lot smarter than that. She knows what the students would be thinking. You know? Hang on, did I... You don't mind willingly going... you don't mind willingly getting the raw end of this deal, right? Despite my protest, neither Ritsu nor Kashima made any move to sit down. They stared back at me with pursed lips.
私も行きます。
I don't know why Hibiki isn't going. Idiot. That's not happening, Hiragi.
遠野先輩がそう言うなら。とは、今回は言いません。
If it was going to affect it, she would have said it. But if it was... Kong, I don't think you understand what I mean. The headmaster is smart. She's very smart. So that means she probably knows exactly what the students would be thinking when she made that announcement. Right? Which means that she knows that the students would be thinking that if they protest, that would affect their academic record. So she didn't say that it wouldn't affect it because she knows that if she did say that she wouldn't affect it, she would get a lot more students protesting to her about it. You sure like pushing your own agenda at the most critical moments.
決まりね。
Yeah, Hibiki, why were you the last one to say anything? Actually, Nagiko probably was. Nagiko was.
アクティブネガティブ合同で、なごみさん、いえ、新学園長に講義に行きましょう。
Finally, Hibiki stood up and patted me on the shoulder. Hey now, Hibiki. What good will it do if everyone winds up suspended? What good would it do if... They only care about the school because of you. The only reason they made the clubs in the first place was because of you. Hehe.
夏休みが増えていいじゃない。
How positive can she be? I mean, that's a positive spin on it, I guess. It didn't have Hibiki's strength. When did she say she suspend people? I mean, yeah. But if you're thinking that, she's definitely thinking that. People will think that they would get suspended. Her cheerfulness and vigor had once saved me, and a part of me admired her for it. I mean, he's thinking worst case scenario, right? But that's beside the point.
決まりね、遠野。全員で行くわよ。
Senpai, you're the only person here who really shouldn't. Oh, right, no. Nagiko was the first person who spoke up. I don't know what I was thinking.
お前のためじゃないわ。響が心配なの。それに、このまま何もせずに卒業なんてしたら、一生悔いが残るわ。
Senpai.
だから、一周回って私自身のためでもあるの。これならいいでしょ。
Quite the poor excuse. How did it all come to this? Surely I was enough of a human sacrifice on my own. They were all determined to tag along regardless. If that was how they felt, then there was only one thing left for me to do. With determination in my heart, I told them exactly what they needed to hear. I don't know, who knows? They're a big enough crowd of students, you know. Maybe them going to see the headmaster will incentivize other people to go see the headmaster. I get it. I'll take responsibility for all of your use. Fuck off. This is the first time we've seen her this is the first time we've seen Kika in the academy during school hours.
お揃いでどこに行くんすか？
And right after I said that we never see her in school during school hours. God damn it. We ran into Hijiri on our way to the headmaster's office.
学園長室に移りよ。
Wait, don't say Ray, that sounds bad.
おお、なんか面白そうっすね。では、しんがりは自分が務めるっす。
Hijiri added herself to the back of our ranks. Are you related to our aunt in some way? I mean, she definitely will be playing a bigger role. I don't know what kind of role, but yeah. You really are going to join in? I wouldn't recommend it if you wanted to avoid attracting the headmaster's attention.
自分そういうの気にしないんで。
I mean, maybe we'll find out more about Kika if she actually goes to the headmaster. You should.
今の遠野先輩、めっちゃ青春カウント使ってるっす。ついにスーパー遠野先輩に覚醒したんすね。ほら、いえ、自分なんだかワクワクしてきたっす。
You're crazy. I got stuck taking responsibility for her youth too. Now that there was so much on the line, I would protect their youths and my scholarship all at once. Shut up. The cards in my hand were high cards, non-score in hand. Kick will always be weird. Yeah, it'll keep her at the top of the rankings if she keeps being weird. I wasn't holding a trump card, designed to immediately show off their efficacy and overturn the situation or anything of the sort. Worse yet, that woman had been the one to lure me in. I had no doubt she was fully prepared, and I was walking into one of her traps. That thought made me shiver.
You.
I'm alright. Let's go. How should I play? How would I fight? She was practically a witch who could read people's minds. That's what I'm saying. She knows exactly what the students are thinking. That's why she worded exactly. That's why she worded it in exactly the way that she worded it. I opened the door without knocking.
待ってたわ、ゆうくん。
Of course you were. Why wouldn't you be? The headmaster flashed us her icy smile the moment we walked into the room.
やっぱり来てくれたわね。
Why wouldn't he? Here's the thing. There is literally no reason for him not to go see her, and she knows that.
信じてたわよ。
So shut the fuck up about this. It was obvious that he was gonna see you. What are you going on about? You were openly provoking us.
強引だったのは謝るわ。でもこうでもしないと、あなたまともに私の話を聞かないでしょ。
I've heard what you have to say many times. You want me to accept the Misaki family's vast inheritance, correct? That woman, my mother had come from a wealthy family. A fortune amassed by my grandfather. He had passed away 3 years ago. The Misaki family has no male heirs, which is why my deceased grandfather designated me as the successor to his will, under the condition that I joined the Misaki family and changed my last name.
その通りよ。
In doing so, I would presume you as my guardian will take every last penny from me. This woman had no need for successors.
あら、そんなことは言ってないわ。
You don't have to. It's obvious. This woman was only kind on the surface. She wasn't going to trick me anymore.
今の本当なんですか、なごみさん。
I mean, it's pretty obvious. Here's the thing. He is underage. Just because the warning says that he isn't, just because the warning at the start of the game says he's 18, doesn't mean he's still not underage. He would not be able to he would not be able to actually inherit the wealth, right? That wealth would go to a guardian or a parent until he is 18, until he is adult age, right? He is definitely 16, not around 16. He's second year, right? So around 16. Yeah. I don't know why I said not around. Hibiki's eyes widened as she raised her voice. So, the only way for him to actually inherit the wealth is for him to wait until he's 18 before joining the Misaki family. Right? But, the other problem is that his pride is on the line. Right? Why would he want to join the Misaki family when he cares so much about his stepdad? Right? He inherited his last name from his stepdad, who he loves. Who actually probably cared about him. I don't know what's up with his dad at the moment. He's probably dead. Don't spoil anything, Dexter, even though you aren't saying anything in the chat. Hibiki's eyes widened as she raised her voice.
さあ、どうかしら。
私、なごみさんだけはいい人だって信じてました。ひどい。最低。
別に響ちゃんにどう思われようと、私は一向に構わないわ。
My aunt, in stark contrast with the shock Hibiki had received, looked utterly unruffled.
なごみおばさん、どうしてそんな風になっちゃったんですか？
He seems to be playing the villain. Obviously, but there's no reason for her to. There might be, but until then, she's just a poorly written villain.
昔はもっと優しかったのに。
Like, what motive does she have? Right? For her to play the villain? For her to be the villain? She isn't just playing the villain, right? Forget about how she used to be, Ritsu. She was only nice to us because she was after the inheritance money. Nagomi has been planning this from the start.
そんな。
Ritsu trembled. I didn't want to tell Ritsu the truth, but...
なんだか、すごい話になってるな。
想像もしていませんでした。学園の改革についてお話をしに来たはずなんですが。
当の兄弟と新学園長が親族なのは知っていたわ。でも、こんなに険悪な仲だったなんて。
Everyone was bewildered. That was reasonable.
私は、ゆうくんと仲良くしたいって思ってるのよ。
So that I can steal your inheritance money.
あら、怖い顔。
I've always had this face. I couldn't afford to let my adversary get to me before our fight. I remained on guard to avoid showing any sign of weakness.
そうそう。ゆうくんに一つ言っておかないといけないことがあるのよ。
What is it?
ゆうくんの話と学園の改革について。一般的には公表していない事実があるわ。
Of course there is. Of course there is.
公表していない？
ゆうくんと私にとってプライベートなことだから。
What are you talking about?
今回の改革はね、通ろうが通る前がどっちでもいいの。
See? It's like there is no point.
果たすべき役割は果たし終わったのよ。
What are you talking about?
私の弟子なのに察しが悪いわね。死の財源が減ったなんてのは嘘で。学園の改革は単に私がゆうくんにプレッシャーをかけるためにやったとしたら？
そんな理由で私たちの学園を？
私にとっては大きな理由。いいえ、大きな目的よ。
私利私欲のために部活動や小学生を巻き込んだってこと？
巻き込んだのなら他の生徒たちには申し訳ないと思ってるわ。
You're gonna compensate them in any way? Because I can guarantee that you wouldn't.
でもね、こうも思ってるの。子供は大人の言うことには従いなさいって。
ひどい。
She wore me down one day at a time to encourage me to accept the inheritance. She had sacrificed others for the Misaki family's benefit.
何のために私が風見学園の学園長になったと思っているの？
The woman before me was trying to trample all over what my friends and the majority of the students had held dear. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked you took things this far. Not only did you drag me into this, but everyone else as well. Yeah, an entire academy. What are you talking about? I'll never let things go the way you want. My old body nearly shook with rage. Calm down. She was provoking me. Anger clouds your judgment, dulling your thoughts and ability to reason. I had suffered an embarrassing defeat the other day, but I refused to make that same mistake twice.
あなたがどう思うとか関係ないのよ。
She seems to be more of a businesswoman than a politician. Fuck! than a principal. Okay, let me explain why I slipped like that. Because when I read your thing, I immediately thought about Trump. All right, and then I was gonna compare the two, right, and be like, Nagomi, as a principal is like Trump as a president. Because both of them are more of a business person than their title. Right? But I was like, should I say it? and then I fucking slipped. But yeah, unlike Trump, she isn't charismatic. And yeah, that's about it.
黙って美咲家の人間になって遺産を受け取りなさい。そうしたら今すぐにでも学園の改革は白紙として考えてあげてもいいわ。
Yeah, this is the ultimatum.
そんなの卑怯よ。
Hibiki snarled at her in anger.
ユウを追い詰めるために生徒たちを人質みたいにして、私のユウをいじめないで。私完全に頭にきたわよ。
You know, you wouldn't announce that you've lost your temper if you've actually lost your temper. Hibiki, stop. I held her back when she tried to lurch at the headmaster.
感情的になっちゃダメよ、響ちゃん。冷静かつ沈着に、いかにして相手の心理を読み、裏をかくか。それが社会という戦場で生き残る唯一の術なのよ。
She continued to instigate despite telling us to remain calm. I wasn't sure what this persistent provocation was meant to accomplish. What if she genuinely wanted to take me into the Masaki family, then that made me personally a trump card. Not that I knew whether I had any utility to her apart from being someone to steal the inheritance from. I can't imagine those words coming from a credible educator.
それが大人になるってことなのよ。
No, that's why she's the principal. She isn't actually a teacher. I hate to break it to you, but I'm still a kid. I'm not about to argue with your logic.
あら、さっきも言ったじゃない。聞こえなかった？子供は大人の言うことには従いなさい。
Yeah, even if an adult tells a kid to kill someone, you know, children should listen to their adults and do as they tell them, you know, even if it's crime.
ゆうくん、あなたはリアリストでしょ？だったら分かってるはずよ。あなたは私の提案を受け入れ、美咲家に入るべきなのよ。遺産を手に入れ、美咲家の男子としてふさわしい教養を手に入れなさい。
What? Because it's
あなたは地位と安定を手にし、私も欲しいものを手に入れる。よく考えなさい。自分の将来を。
It's his inheritance. The headmaster turned to Kaido.
あなた、確か3年生よね。自分の将来を考えての行動なの？
考えてます。だから私は。
お父様とお母様のことも考えたかしら。
What is this? What?
子供の将来はね、親の将来でもあるのよ。あなたたちのご両親は、この軽率な行動をどう思われるでしょうね。
If he doesn't join the family, he doesn't get it. No, if he joins the family now, he won't get it. If he joins the family at 18, he will. That's what I'm saying. If he joins the family, the inheritance goes to not him. It'll go to his guardian because he's still a minor. So then he won't get the money. And she will because she's his guardian. On paper.
それは。
今なら見なかったことにしてあげるわ。あなたたちは教室に帰りなさい。
遠野先輩。
She proceeded to ramble on and on. So Kong, so about when you defended her when she didn't say that you would get punished if you spoke up to her about the club disbandment. So what did you say again? She proceeded to ramble on and on. It was hilarious for Nagomi to call herself an educator while simultaneously threatening the students. Like I care.
遠野先輩の守りたいものって何すか？
え？
I don't know.
先輩もそろそろ腹をくくるときっすよ。
Every time he has his flashback, his eyes fucking roll to the back of his head. It scares the shit out of everyone around him. I don't have a clue about the future.
先輩の青春カウント動き出してるっす。
Our precious friends are currently in trouble. What was important to them was about to up and disappear. No. What was on the verge of disappearing was... Don't put your hands on our youth! I yelled in a booming voice.
いつも冷静な遠野くんがあんなこと。
ちょっと遠野、お前私にさっき言ったことと違うじゃない。
Cringe. Yeah, shut up about youth. I understand the theme of the game. You don't have to shove it down my throat every second sentence. I finally understand what you meant, Hibiki. Now that I've gotten a good hard look at a relatively shrewd woman who only thinks about her future gains.
私の言ったこと？
Did you forget what you said? If you did, then I'll say it here and now. I took in a deep, shallow breath. We shouldn't worry about what's in the past or future. The past is over. God, donezo. And the future is eternally out of reach. It can safely be ignored. People who can live in the present, in this very moment. People can only live in the present, in this very moment. That's why you should, that's why you should just enjoy your youth. As hard as you can. In the here and now. I shouted so loudly it wore out my throat. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
ゆうくん。
The headmaster before me went wide-eyed, wider than her eyes already were. She was clearly surprised. everyone's present lives in my responsibility. Everyone's present lives are my responsibility. How would you enjoy it if you have no money? He has money. And also, he's been enjoying it pretty well without money, you know? And this isn't just between us anymore. Which is why I refuse to back down.
そう。あくまでも私に歯向かうつもりなのね。
We glared at each other, our bare animosity sending sparks mutually flying. We repelled my aunt's pressure with our resolve. This was a powder keg waiting to blow.
まあまあ、先輩も学園長さんも抑えて抑えて。
So like, what is your role in all of this? Because like, you seem like you know more than you let on. What the heck, Hijiri?
事情はよくわかんないっすけど、話が全然まとまりそうもないっすよ。
Do you even go to the school? You're just like hanging around and you never go to any classes.
いっそ、何かで勝負して決めた方がいいのでは？
Now you're doing this shit?
あなた。
Of course you know her. Why wouldn't you know her? She's a fucking mysterious entity that rarely shows up around the school that only the main characters know of.
まさかね。
学園長さん、勝負ダメっすか？
その勝負に私のメリットはあるの？
I want the final trump card. If I lose, then I'll do everything you tell me. I'll become a member of the Masaki family or whatever else you want. Don't worry, he won't lose this time. He's calm now. He's talking about youth and shit. Maybe, you know what? Maybe he's gone insane.
そんな、遠野くん。お前、何言ってるの？
いいわね。二言はなしよ。私が負ければ、ゆうくんの要望を受け入れましょう。でも、体力じゃさすがに男のゆうくんにはかなわないわ。カードゲーム、オールドメイドでどう？ゆうくん。
So it isn't poker this time, it's old maid. Actually,
オールドメイドってなんだ？
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot what old maid is.
トランプのババ抜きのことですよ。
Oh, right, that's what it is. Riri played old maid with you at the start of the game. I just forgot because it was so long since we started playing the game.
ジョーカーを含めたトランプ53枚で戦うゲームです。ペアになったカードは場に捨て、最後にジョーカーが残った方が負けです。
What the fuck, Jordan? Hello.
つまり、運と心理戦ね。
まずいよ。なごみおばさんはお兄ちゃんの師匠だよ。
You don't want a Joker? Yeah, the Joker is like... Wait. I kind of forgot how it worked. Hang on. How did she explain it again? Yeah, whoever has the Joker in the end loses. Because you can't pair the Joker with anything, right? Because there's only one Joker in the deck.
私、お兄ちゃんがトランプでなごみおばさんに勝ったの見たことないもん。
先輩、どうします？
You know another language? I mean, I kind of know Japanese. Fine. It'll be payback for everything you've done in the past. So, like, who the fuck are you, Kika? Are you like the fucking headmaster? You're like the previous headmaster's daughter or something? You're like she's the previous headmaster. How I know. However, I'll have a shuffle and deal. I designated Hijiri. I thought he was referring to I thought he was talking to Nagomi about dealing and shuffling.
いいわよ。カードはゆうくんのを使いなさい。
If that's even your real name. Are you sure? That may give me the advantage.
その代わり、ゆうくんから配ってもらうわ。
That meant I would have 27 cards, and the headmaster would have 26 in her hand. Worst case scenario, the headmaster could win instantly. That wouldn't happen for me, with an odd-numbered hand.
遠野先輩、それでいいっすか？
Sure am. Here. I handed all of my cards over to Hijiri. She opened the case and took the cards out.
シャッフルしたっす。
Alright. Deal starting from me.
ユウにペアがいっぱいできるように配ってよ。
I mean, like... see, here's the thing, right? I wish they played poker and then went through the same scenario of him getting dealt first after him shuffling, right? Of him shuffling, Nagomi cutting the deck, and then Hijiri dealing to him first, and then him winning. But, I don't know.
無理っす。自分そんなテクないっす。
Hijiri dealt the cards back and forth between me and the headmaster with unpracticed hands.
終わったっす。勝負開始ですね。頑張って、ユウ。
The headmaster and I reviewed our cards at the same time. We discarded the pairs from our hands. I knew he had the Joker, of course he would. I still had an ace, 3, 4, 7, 9, queen, and the Joker left in my hand. It followed then that the headmaster had 6 cards in her hand.
やっぱり一発で上がりは無理だったわね。
I doubt that happens all too often. Neither of us were prepared for this match. This was pure mind-reading psychological warfare.
ゆうくん、あなたのジョーカー、私には透けて見えるわ。
That's a lie.
なら、証拠を見せましょうか。
The headmaster reached out her hand. What? He drew the Joker from my hand with zero hesitation. I had 6 cards and she had 7.
ほら、嘘じゃなかったでしょ？見えるのよ、私には。
Ah, she got lucky. She's getting in your head.
あなたの心が手に取るように。ね。
The cold sweat ran down my spine. These were my cards. Hijiri shuffled and dealt them. This woman hadn't touched these cards since our last card game. There was no possible way she could cheat.
驚いたかしら？
You could read me in my cards like an open book. No, what would have been... That's a power move from her? No, what would have been a power move if she said exactly which cards from left to right. the exact cards from left to right. Oh, well, the numbers, I guess. Like, saying the suits as well would be overdoing it. I believed I had my guard up enough that she couldn't get a read on my emotions.
何をしているの？早く引きなさい。
My aunt held her hand straight out to me. To me? Hang on. It's straight out for me. I reached out and touched each of her cards one by one. Engaged her reaction all the while. Well, of course she wouldn't react. The shape of her eyebrows, the angle of her lips, how fast she opened her eyes. I frantically observed it all. I couldn't get a read on her. And even if you got a read on her, it would have been fake, you know? Not one of my attempts to shake her up had gotten through. But I reluctantly left it in Fate's hand and drew the center card. You mean where the Joker is? 7. Ah, never mind. It wasn't a joker, surprisingly. With relief, I discarded the pair of sevens from my hand. That left me with 5 cards and my aunt with 6.
よかったわね。運のいい子。
And you're being annoying.
なあ、ユウは勝ってるんだよな。
Shut up! You're making him lose concentration.
手札の数ではそうね。
二人でやるババ抜きに手札の数はあまり関係ありません。心理戦で勝利した方の勝ちです。
Yeah, I don't know why they had to start up. I don't know why they had to deal the 53 cards. It's like it wouldn't have mattered if it was like it wouldn't have mattered if it was 20 cards or 10 cards, right?
遠野先輩、いつもに比べて焦っているように見えます。
Hell, you could have done it with 3 cards, right? To add to the mental battle, yeah, I guess. But like, it doesn't matter until you don't have a pair in your hand, right? And that's when the mental battle actually starts.
お兄ちゃん、落ち着いて。ポーカーフェイス。
So what I'm saying is, they went all the way down to 13 cards before the mental battle actually started, right?
ユウ、頑張って。負けちゃダメよ。
ゆうくん、いつの間にかこんなにも友達ができたのね。
Yeah? No shit? Why would they be here if they weren't his friends?
おばさん嬉しいわ。
Now you're just being patronizing. What the fuck? How long did I'm back and watching. Oh, you were watching before, but you were just chatbotting. Like a guardian this late in the game. I suppressed my irritation considerably. Yeah, but not enough to not show it. I was done for if I let my emotions take over. Never mind that. Please draw it. Please draw it. Please draw. It's your turn.
はいはい。
I was listening. I told you. My aunt readily took my 4. Then she discarded the pair of 4s from her hand. I had 4 cards and she had 5. You don't need to keep saying that. We know. As long as I don't draw the Joker, I win. We know she has the same amount of cards in her hand plus 1. The odds were 1 and 5. Actually, they're probably going to be 1 and 1. You're going to draw the Joker right now. I reached out again and watched my aunt for any sort of reaction.
無駄よ。あなたには私の心は読めないわ。
Please be quiet. The match continued. This was the final stage. I made a lethal mistake. I had 2 cards in my hand. An ace and the Joker. I had finally drawn the Joker. He got lucky until my aunt had 1 card in her hand. It was her turn next. If she drew the ace, I lost.
さて、どっちかしらね。
My aunt wagged her finger between the 2 circles between the 2 cards with a smile on her face. Damn it. I couldn't read my aunt's mind, and yet she could read mine. Although we were competing, it was like I had all my cards out in the open. I had to do something or I would lose.
ユウ、お願い、勝って。
Beside me, Hibiki prayed quietly to herself. I had to get my aunt to take the Joker somehow. Just once would be enough. Did I have no way to deceive her? A lie my aunt wouldn't see through? Lie? That key word jogged my memory.
嘘つかないで。
He... Now she won't be able to tell if he's lying because his eyes are rolled in the back of his head. Rolled to the back of his head. Because he's in a flashback right now. I'm not lying.
あんた、嘘ついてるときは、もちろんっていう癖あるの知ってるんだけど。
If you can't understand them, how you read them. The headmaster's wagging finger stopped. True, yeah. I had pushed one of the two cards in my hand upward. Almost as if to say, please take this card.
こっちがユウくんのおすすめなの？
Of course it is.
もちろん。ね。
Man! I was right. My aunt had noticed my recurring phrase. And if so...
バカな子ね。がっかりよ。私はそんなフェイクに引っかかりは。
My aunt promptly took the card I'd held out. You idiot! And now you have to... So, like, it's still... The Joker had fallen into my aunt's possession. So, like, it's not like he's out of the woodworks yet. He still needs to get the... He still needs to take the ace out of her hand. All I had left in my hand was an ace. And, look, all I'm saying is that the same trick won't work twice. Her expression wavered for the first time during our match, and she looked rather displeased. You assumed I would make use of one of my catchphrases to lay a trap. You came to that conclusion because you believed I am not a complete idiot. Thank you for thinking highly of me. I wiped the sweat off my forehead again. Wait. You assumed I would make use of one of my catchphrases to lay a trap. You mean wouldn't? What? Yeah, sweat. What, did I not say sweat?
でも、私には同じ手は通用しないわよ。
That's what I'm saying. He'll just use another catchphrase if he loses the 50-50. Yeah, I agree with you. Which is why... I immediately reached out and pulled the right card casually out of my aunt's hand. And then... Let's end it with this. Ah, never mind, he got the ace. I discarded the two aces onto the table.
You!
My hand was empty. The Joker was left in my aunt's hand. And it was the moment of my victory. It was the moment my victory was set in stone.
さすが遠野くんです。
Whoa, hang on a minute. Hibiki Kashima clung to me.
遠野、見事だったわ。お兄ちゃん最高。
ユウ、かっこいいぞ、この野郎。
I don't know, Ritsu should be more jealous than that.
遠野先輩にいいねを進呈します。
All of my other friends followed suit and clamored around me. Hang on for a minute. Among them, only my aunt kept a calm face and gazed at my hand.
このジョーカーの橋、少しふやけてるわ。
Gazed at her hand.
汗ね。
I set it up that way. I had only 2 cards left.
最初から狙ってたの？
Not a chance. I came up with it at the very last second before you drew the Joker.
なるほど。だから顔に出なかったのね。
That's why he pushed the card up, bro. Not to, also, not just to trick her, but to mark the card with his sweat up from his forehead. Well, let out a sigh and leaned back into her seat.
たくましくなったわね、ゆうくん。あの状況で、ちゃんと次の罠も仕込んでいたなんて。
Taking advantage of the situation, no matter when or how, was something you taught me.
そうだったかしらね。
I feigned ignorance. There was no way this woman had forgotten.
とにかく、勝負はついたわね。
You won't go back on your word, I assume?
見損なわないで。そんな無様なことはしないわ。
No, but you would do something as shameful as taking all of the students as hostage, essentially, so that he could join your family. There's no like there isn't any like life lesson that he was taught here, just because he won. You know. I left this running just to be safe, though. I took my phone out of my pocket. It was warm to the touch since I left the app running this whole time.
録音してたのね。
Yeah. That would make sense. I anticipated this being drawn out. If it proved necessary, I considered dragging the entire academy into this. To do some online trolling. To do some online trolling? Right. You know what? He's a man of my heart. I would do the same as well. It would have been fine if I would have been fine with that as long as we avoided having the Reformation implemented today, at the very least. We wouldn't lose if we could get public sentiment on our side. In the worst case scenario, it gave the clubs and scholarship students a fighting chance. Or so I assumed.
まったく、可愛げがないわね。
If you really want it, if he didn't go through with the card game and actually use the recording, if he really wanted to troll, put it on 2chan. Not 4chan. 4chan's for the Western side, right? 2chan is Japanese 4chan, which means it's even worse than 4chan. I do not want to hear that from you.
そういうところが可愛くないのよ。知らない間に大人になったのね。
Yes. I got to have all kinds of experiences because of it.
ゆうくんを説得するのは別の機会にするわ。
So, like, she's still gonna be the headmaster, right? It's not like she had a choice at the moment. It's already set in stone that she's gonna be the headmaster, right? I mean, technically she isn't. She shouldn't be. That's for next term. I see you haven't given up.
ええ、もちろん。ただ勝負に負けたことは事実よ。よって学園の改革計画は凍結。
Regarding the disbandment of school clubs and the scholarship program, I'd assume the same could be said for those 2 points as well.
ええ、そうよ。
I'm relieved to hear that. I stood up from my seat. Let's head back. Let's head back, everyone. I'm totally wiped. I turned away from my aunt. There was no reason to be here any longer.
アクティブ存続決定！めでたいですね。ボランティア部もですよ。兄、万歳！
親友万歳！
失礼します。
So like, who are you?
どうしたの？あなたももう行きなさい。
学園長さん、あざっす。
え？
ジョーカーの仕込み、学園長さんなら絶対気づいてたと思うっす。わざと負けてくれたんすよね。
I mean, obviously, right? If they never, why is she thanking? Something related to her.
どうかしら。
What do you mean, who knows?
それにしても、美咲家はあの子にとことん嫌われたものね。遺産を受け取れば全て元通りって破格の条件だったのに。
She could have won. She definitely would have won. If, I don't know. I don't understand how Nagomi can think that sentence would sound appealing. Especially when she's seen as a witch in Yu's eyes.
人の心はわからないものっすよ。
そうね。カードは読めても、あの子の心は読めなかったわ。ところであなた、名前は？
山田花子っす。
偽名はやめなさい。
失礼するっす。
We're never gonna hear her real name. Unless? Never mind. We're never gonna hear her real name.
あの子。キッカ？
Unless
みんな、すっごい喜んでたわね。
unless her real name is Kika. So like, they're just interesting. Here's the thing. All of them know that the clubs aren't being disbanded. The other students, they don't know jack shit. Alright? I haven't heard the intercom stating that they're reversing the disbandment of the clubs. So like, you know, all of the students are still in a panic. Her route going to be interesting? Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, with how I do things, right? You're gonna have to wait a while because let's just say that Kika has not changed in the rankings at all. But if these rankings stay the same, it's not Hibiki that I'll do first, right? It would be Riri, because Hibiki is the poster girl. She's the main girl. She is last. She would be last. Shiori would be first. Actually, yeah. It would be Shiori first, then Ritsu, and then Riri, Nagiko, Kika, Hibiki. I don't think you could do her route first. I could, well, either way, I'm doing Hibiki's route last. Right? For Ritsu, well, you know, Ritsu and Shiori, it's because of Dexter that I'm doing them first. But Shiori, Ritsu. But yeah, and then after Shiori and Ritsu, it'd be Riri, Nagiko, Kika, and then Hibiki. But, you know, that's that's for later. Right? But until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for chatting. If you enjoyed, a follow would be appreciated. And if you want to support me even further, you could always subscribe. You got a lot more of me than usual, but that's because I hate his auntie. So much so that I keep forgetting her name. Don't say her name. If you enjoyed, a like would be appreciated. Want to support me even further, you could always subscribe. But yeah. I'll be playing more. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. I will be playing more Kakenuke tomorrow. I thought about playing Sugar Sweet Temptation. Right? I want to finish off Chocolate's route, but there's still a bit more before I feel like I can do that. Right? We're technically still aren't past the auntie route, the new headmaster route, the headmaster arc, shall I say? Right? So yeah, that'll maybe after that I'll start playing Sugar Sweet Temptation again. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye bye.